All right, Ralph. Well, we are going to do Appliance Heaven Part 2 here. So this is the Kelvinator building here at the Rambler Ranch. And I think there's a lot of wonderful old appliances inside. So,
hey, yeah, I was just going to say, hey, food friends and Cavalcade kids, you know what rhymes with heaven? Kevin.
That's right.
So Kevin is in heaven.
Come on with us as we come in here.
This is so cool.
Yes,
this guy is such a wonderful collector.
This is really, if you're ever anywhere near Colorado, and especially if you're in Denver, you have to come to the Rambler Ranch here in Elizabeth. This is an experience. I've been to a lot of museums, and we can't even scratch the surface in these videos, but appliances, cars.
It really is like Disneyland
everything.
For collectors of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he puts so much attention to detail in not just the appliances and the cars, but every little thing from the past.
Between Terry and Daniel, this place is just immaculate. So let's come in here, and Ralph, that's the Kelvinator salesman hard at work making sales here.
Hi, Calvin. His name's Calvin Nader.
Kelvin I. Nader. And then here, looks like Terry's got some Kelvinator dishwashers. Ralph, this is a Kelvinator, very rare Kelvinator garbage disposal.
I was going to say, I thought the shape looked familiar.
And
look at even a water cooler in the
water
back.
cooler. Well, they made all this stuff here. There's just photographs and sales brochures everywhere that the eye looks. Look at this! Look at this beautiful Kelvinator dishwasher, stainless steel. Isn't that a beaut?
That is something. And did you want to remind folks why Kelvinator's connected?
Oh, well, the reason why there's so many Kelvinator appliances here at the Rambler Ranch, because Kelvinator was made by Nash Motors, and then in 1954 Nash merged with Hudson Motors and became American Motors and continued to make Kelvinator appliances. And Terry just has the absolute best of the Kelvinator line here at the ranch. Here's a Kelvinator fridge, Ralph. I think I actually have one of these at the Cavalcade. There's so much to look at, folks. Even I'm overwhelmed. I'm totally overwhelmed at this collection. All right, we have a chest freezer. We have a beautiful Kelvinator range here. And I think this is a 51, 2 maybe. But Ralph, I gotta look. You gotta see this.
Oh my!
I'm gonna unplug it. This is a Kelvinator butter keeper, butter warmer. So you got your butter out of the fridge, right?
Nice and hard and cold.
You put it in here, and it has a setting.
That's so cool.
Hard to soft, and it will run a temperature so that the butter
will get to the temperature that you can spread it, or however you want to use it.
And I know we saw this. Terry pointed this out after we were in one of the other appliance buildings, and I'm going to ask Terry. This is the coolest thing ever. This butter warmer.
I have 3 of them.
Well, I mean, because why would you just want one of these, right? But again, those of us who are collectors, Terry, we totally get this.
Those of us who love butter get it. And also, why would they stop making such a cool thing?
Now they just have the butter crock that you put in water. We have to change the water every 3 days.
To kind of keep it at room temperature.
Yeah.
Here's the man of the hour, Terry Gale.
Terry Gale.
Hello, food friends.
Terry, I was just saying to Ralph how I'm just so overwhelmed because there's so much to look at and there's so much to see, and we can only scratch the surface on the videos. That's why this is just something, everybody, you need to see for yourself, because the collection here is just so magnificent. And when you talk about Kelvinator refrigerators, invariably the conversation goes to something, Ralph, called a Foodorama. This would have been, to keep it into a car analogy, this was like the Cadillac of refrigerators, except made by Nash.
So it's and the brand was called Foodorama?
No, it's a Kelvinator right here.
Right.
And down here
the
you'll
model.
see it says the model is Foodorama. And basically, I think, Terry, this is one of the earliest side-by-side, if you want to think of it that way.
Side by side. I believe the first, they came out in 1953. Have you looked inside of it?
No, we didn't.
Wow.
Open the freezer.
I
It's got a breakfast
Take
bar,
us to a breakfast bar.
juice boxes, place for your bacon.
I can
Look
see,
at that.
I can see why this is the Cadillac of
Look at these little doors, Ralph, with the eggs.
of appliances, because I actually thought this was two separate refrigerators. I didn't realize this is one.
You've got your refrigerator side and you've got your refreezer side. And I mean, again, look here. You've got an ice cream shelf. You've got a dispenser here for frozen juices, and then you've got a little bin down at the bottom, and all of these shelves. Is this anything here at the bottom?
That's where the compressor is.
That's where the compressor is. Okay.
It's got a roll of freezer wrap above the bananas.
Oh,
So
oh
you
my
can store
gosh!
your
I didn't even
bananas in
notice
a
that. Look at
cooled
that.
spot.
I cannot imagine what this unit weighs.
It is very heavy. I hauled this up here by myself.
But Terry, this is just a beautiful example. Slide out shelves. These are things we don't think about so much now, but this was real innovation at the time. I mean, this was really something. This was not a refrigerator that, everybody had, because this was an expensive model, but it offered a gigantic, for the time, refrigerator space that was all refrigerator. And then you had a freezer, that was far larger than any freezer being offered in a refrigerator. And you had all of this, and and then just look at the beautiful detail on the handles here.
And of course, it still works.
And of course it still works.
Of course.
And let's just go up above and look at this beautiful old neon. Terry has neon all over the ranch that
Creatively placed and cleverly
and beautifully restored.
Beautifully restored, yes.
This is fairly old, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was my motivation for that. This is an old photo.
There. Yes.
Of a showroom, and I got this because I have all of these things, but I
Yes.
didn't have that.
Mm.
So I did a little research. I had this picture blown up.
What is that exactly?
It's called a polar sphere.
Okay.
So because these old refrigerators were kind of loud,
Yeah.
so they encased them in a steel case to help quiet them down.
Oh.
Wow.
This is the ad for it.
Holosphere. Polar sphere.
Polar sphere.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of these.
This is an actual one that's like in this picture. That's from a showroom, a display piece.
Look at that, Ralph.
I just need to find a stand to put it on.
Put it on.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful.
And this steel survived. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow. That's, again, it's like the appliances and like so much more. And then again, we looked at this beautiful range. Look at this. This is now, how cute is that little Kelvinator? That's
cool.
really cool. That's nice. And, Ralph, we talked, of course he has 3 of the butter warmers, keepers, but, again, one Foodorama is great, but how about here's another one, right next to it. This one is a little bit later, I'm assuming, by the style.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you look, it's the same idea where you have the refrigerator. Can we open?
Oh, absolutely.
Look at these handles. Look at how they designed the handle to pull out like that.
They're like car doors.
They are like car doors. And again, very much
Wow.
the breakfast bar. Look at that
Huge
crisper.
crisper.
And let's see on the freezer side. Again, shelves, dispensers for ice, freezer wrap.
Wow.
Wow.
Has
This
it
is
all.
cool. This is a beaut.
Homemakers
Very nice.
in those days would have just been on cloud nine.
So, is this a? Do you know? I don't know these well enough to know what year it is. I see. This looks like that one in this advertisement, but this is must be a few years
This is
later.
like 53 or 4,
Four.
somewhere in there, and this is a little later.
Probably later in the 50s. And then over here, Ralph, let's just see. This is a classic. Look at the handle on this. This is a classic Kelvinator refrigerator. Beautiful. Pretty big freezer chest, actually, for the time. And then I just love these smaller models here, refrigerators. Oh, and this one's even stocked. Well, I think we'll have dinner tonight. Looks like it's going to be lobster and
Surf and turf.
and fillet and maybe a trout. This is really great. This is great, Terry. It's just the creativity
And the
that
detail.
I mean, yes, that you and Daniel put into everything. It's just amazing.
Well, look at that little box right there. Open that little yellow this thing here. Open the door, the yellow part on top.
Does it come?
That is a clothes dryer.
Really?
That is
Oh, it sure is,
gotta
Ralph.
be the
I don't know
world's
if you can
smallest.
get a side shot, but you can see there's a drum in there, a dryer drum, and I see the fan now here. Wow. I'm trying to think what would we dry in something this small?
Women's unmentionables.
Our most delicate, dainty things, right?
Yes.
Wow, never saw one of those before. Kelvinator, of course they made oil and all kinds of other supplies for their appliances. They made wax. What's going on, Ralph?
I'm losing control.
Oh, okay.
No, I got it.
Do you know how to? Okay, folks, of course he does. Here it comes. He's coming back around.
Have you heard of a meterator?
Meter.
A meterator.
Kelvinator had a payment plan. When they delivered a refrigerator, they plug it into this lockbox and plug in the wall, and then you had to feed it 15 cents a day to keep the timer running. And then the guy come around and collect the money from the box.
Seriously.
I have one somewhere in storage. I mean,
Really?
Isn't that fascinating?
So talk about it. That's a guaranteed layaway plan, isn't
Yeah,
it?
until people figured out they could just cut the cord and move and put it in the plug.
Well, you know what? It was probably an option for some people who needed to pay overtime. There's vintage advertisements all over the place, which are great, as well as these wonderful pictures of appliance stores. And, a lot of us collectors use these advertisements to help date things in our collection.
Or like Terry was saying, to recreate or see what he needs to add to the collection that's missing from not in the picture or in the picture.
And to coin a popular phrase, Ralph, but wait, there's more. Now let's walk into this building, or this back room. Again, I mean, it's literally wall to wall. We've got sort of an island of electric ranges in the center, and then all around Kelvinator refrigerators of different eras. I love all of the point of sale promotional stuff from the dealership, and of course we've got, look at the light fixture in here, Ralph. How fun is
I
that?
saw that. Let me show our friends watching at home. Oops.
And Terry, I'm looking at, are you okay, Ralph?
It's going.
You know what? I think I know what's happening.
What?
Okay, you got it?
I'm trying to show the light. But
Yeah,
but
okay.
there we go.
Okay.
I thought I could do it with the controller.
All right. Yeah. There you go. All right. Here's a third Foodorama. Now this is beautiful.
That's 1966.
This is these look like airplanes. Look at the handles on this.
Yeah, you can see
Ralph.
that's.
And the beautiful inlay. It almost looks like wallpaper or something on the inside.
The handles look like very Star Trek.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
very much spaceship.
Yeah.
And if we can open, wow! So you can see this is in. Again, the idea is the same.
It's like
but an updated.
more streamlined and more modern and 60s.
Yes.
And an ice maker. That
Built-
was 1966. That one.
So yeah, again, an automatic ice maker. Again, pretty advanced for the time. And here we don't have the breakfast bar, but instead we've got shelves galore, and we've got this cold mist crisper up here for meats and vegetables. How cool is that?
Very.
And then again, shelf after shelf after shelf. And we're going to turn the corner. Another Foodorama, number 4 in this building, in copper tone. So this probably gets us into the very late 60s or
That's a
very
64.
early. Is it? Oh, okay.
It's a 50th anniversary.
Okay. No frost free. So again, we're in frost free now. But Ralph, take a look at the Philco V handle. That's one of those refrigerators that you could open from either direction.
Really? Wow.
Another beautiful combination freezer, refrigerator, Kelvinator, another one. He's got Kelvinator ranges here. Here's a Kelvinator ice cream freezer with scoop. And these were very common. In
For homes or industrial?
No, in commercial applications,
Okay.
ice cream shops and things like that. Now, talk about this masterpiece Foodorama. It's really a side-by-side, but a little more compact than, say, the Foodoramas we've seen thus far. Beautiful harvest gold.
Yes.
Just beautiful.
So what year do you think that's from, Terry?
It's gonna be probably late 60s or 70s.
I would
Even
say.
the early 70s? And
Yeah.
The avocado one is a 71. That came
Oh.
with the original receipt and everything.
Okay.
So were they...
They're
So
about the same period.
And they
Okay.
have the similar handles, so I would say they are probably of the same vintage. And because here it says Kelvinator Appliances Division of White Consolidated Industries, so we know that's after 1968. So here's a Kelvinator dual level range in beautiful avocado green.
You want to see something very cool about that? Lift the bottom of that handle on the upper.
This?
Yeah, hold that and open it. It has a second door, so you can open it to look at your food without losing the heat.
Without letting the
Oh.
heat. What a genius idea.
Then you pull from the top of the handle to pull both doors.
Okay.
Did you see
How
that?
cool? Yes. How cool is that, Terry? That again. This is real innovation in this stuff. There's a Kelvinator dishwasher tucked in the corner there.
Look at the dials on this.
I
It's
know
like
it's
a
got a
airplane.
million controls. It's like you're
Spaceship airplane or something.
Kelvinator freezers here, and again, here's a beautiful 60s 40. Another one of Terry's butter keepers, plugged in and at the ready.
Ready to go.
And then here's a range, Ralph, that might look familiar because this is the one that is at the Cavalcade, and it was in the kitchen for some time.
Yes,
And this
that's-
is a 51 and a
40-incher?
Really one of my favorite ranges, Terry. Honestly, it worked flawlessly.
Is that a 40-incher?
Yes, it is a 40-inch range, and has a beautiful baking oven. I loved it. It was really a joy to cook on. So, this is just the another sort of installment here in Terry's appliance collection. Believe me, there's more.
Have you heard of the Kelvinator Originals?
What's that
I
again?
have not.
The Kelvinator Originals. The 2 pictures of 3 behind you, 4.
Wow.
They had themed refrigerators.
Look at this, Ralph.
And the one on the left is Joan Crawford's kitchen, done in the Coach Light series.
The blue one?
Yep.
Or blue picture? Yeah.
Yes.
And the one on the right on the top of the refrigerator is a showroom from Denver.
Wow.
And I've looked for years for those, and I have finally found the Jack of Hearts. I have one of those in storage that needs to be cleaned up and put on display.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
That's cool.
Nothing but the best for Miss Crawford.
Right, and you'll see there's no wire hangers in that kitchen. So.
Not that we see.
So this is what a fun room this is. Oh boy. So again, just another installment in getting a look at some of the appliances here at the Rambler Ranch. But again, the videos really just scratch the surface of just the wonderful collection that exists here.
Beautiful and clean this one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great looking refrigerator.
Well, thank you, Terry.
Yes,
You're
thank
very
you,
welcome.
Terry.
Thanks for visiting.
Absolutely. It has been our pleasure, and believe me, a thrill beyond belief. So, okay, more to come.
Can't wait to see more. Thank
Yeah.
you. We'll be back.